HiBy do know how to make a nice software, because of that whole lot of Chinese digital audio players are working nice. But there's always a story about hardware products of this company. Even their top players look really questionable in reviews. Their most advanced Bluetooth receiver W5 plays juicy, but the paired codec U8T, which is ultra audio transmission, still refuses to work properly, even on medium settings. Among their product line, audio player models R3, R6 and R6 Pro escaped from my site, but HiBy R5 has been in our hands for a pretty long to create a certain impression. Mine is Bogdan, welcome to Tech Fellas, so now you'll find out how good or bad that impression is. Before I turn on an audiophile mode, just take a look on its body. The player isn't so eye-catching. It's bulky but also compact and incredibly easy to use. All buttons are scattered along the sides and I personally feel tactile pleasure pressing them. There's no volume dial and the power buttons got a damn bright LED that, thanks to engineer insanity, can't be turned off in settings. The body itself is an aluminum frame with glass panels glued on the front and back. LFOB coating is only in the front one, and it's pretty mediocre. Top and bottom frame inserts are distinctive, especially in profile, and attractive in their own way. They are made of fairly solid and wear resistant, but still plastic, and therefore it's only a matter of time when they'll lose their attractiveness. Although the only digital port here is Type-C, it helps to manage everything you need, which is memory access by USB 2.0 unfortunately, signal output and receiving in USB DAC mode, and essentially device charging. In particular, the system supports Quick Charge 3.0. Why there's no charging block at all from the box with audio player for $400? I think only Apple can answer this. After all, iPhone 11 supports quick charging, but its charging brick comes in 5 watt. By the way, check out this one if you wanna see more hidden stuff from Apple iPhone 11 recent presentation.
Thank you and have a great day.
There are two analog outputs, 3.5 headphone jack that supports playback control via headset button, and balance Pentagon for those who like thick hips. By the way, both can be used like line outputs as well as headphone outputs. I found this quite extraordinary, but anyway, it's said, it's set. The screen here is 4 inches IPS one with resolution too painful for my reviewer mouth. It's 540 by 1080. For your understanding, even iPhone 5 with the same diagonal had more pixels inside. If stop being nasty, the screen is actually good enough and isn't too scratchy. Colors are classic for LCD, viewing angles are okay for that class. Even upon a strong tilt, contrasting objects do not lose their details, although colors distort a bit. Unfortunately, the brightness range is abstract and almost useless here. As for the performance, this digital audio player is one of the fastest I've ever used. To be frank, I would play games here only for making fun of owners of DX220, but in general, snappy response and smooth work in both player and streaming clients is a big advantage of this DAP, because not a lot of players can easily run even such low tasks. HiBy R5 obtained Bluetooth 4.2 that works in 2 ways and by programming means understands almost any modern codec. How strong is its signal? I define by the words fair enough, because W5 receiver signal transfer is weaker than expected, but still manageable. So to say, the X150 doesn't know how to deal with it at all. Wi-Fi in the player comes with 5 GHz support, but it doesn't bring really worthy results. One of the reasons why our DAP is bulky is its battery for 3500 mAh. If you connect your headphones through regular output, it will play music for about 20 hours. In case of the balanced one, 12 hours is player's maximum, at least with my earphones with 20 ohm impedance. When it's in the standby mode, the battery will discharge by 5% in a day. Getting closer to the sound, the main engine here is dual Cirrus Logic CS43198 with 2 crystal oscillators, low pass filter OPA 1612 and amplifier DP8397. For you to know, such DAC you can see in Norma SR15 and upcoming iBasso DX160. And now, starting the audiophile madness. yes, the sound from this DAP is saucy, pleasurable and fairly not dull at all. HiBy R5 will bring any recording with flows to the maximum stage of comfort and delicacy almost without the influence of headphones. Such effect is brought by wise treating of high frequencies, not killing them but noticeably clamping. This makes the sound a bit darker, so for example jazz gets somewhat constrained flavor. What surprises me the most is that hardly noticeable cymbals on the background don't become a noise, and I can't even hear them somehow, considering that explicit sounds are frankly crushed in amplitude, and what used to bite our ears doesn't do that anymore. That makes me think that not everything is so simple in R5 tuning. The same thing applies to overtones. If the highs were roughly cut, the player's sound would be artificial, muddy and too defective, but the way how it's realized here is some kind of a magic. Mids are emotional, expressive and not waxed. If I had to talk with allegories, imagine a big plushy hedgehog. It's like a hedgehog but not prickly, a big one, but it won't hurt you by any means. There are no issues to reflection of the contrast between sounds of different volume, but the soundstage I wish would be better. After all, HiBy R5 is not so analytical and subtle source, so why is there a need to limit yourself in soundstage? I cannot call mids very crispy and sharp, they are mostly fluid and musical. You will clearly feel how massive become acoustic instruments and male vocals, so literally after 10 minutes of listening you stop caring about that slight lack of air and begin to enjoy the sound from R5, kinda like from the express taste of matured whiskey. With all that picture, bass here is certainly not dry, it's raised slightly, crawling into the middle that makes drumming shock clearly noticeable even at not high volume. The texture of lows and deep bass are not easily reproduced by a player, but I got the feeling that no one was going to focus on them. Well, engineers see better. The main goal of local bass is to add some drive and make you dance with the music with the most delicious sound. Like any player with its own character, HiBy R5 has its own preferences, such styles like instrumental, jazz, soul and close to them I would prefer to listen on something else. Absence of blooming and sparkling treble might ruin the whole picture for you. However, electronic, pop, not very fast metal and rock, these are the main bros of the hero of our review. The choice of headphones is as simple as possible. R5 will gladly work with everything that the sane person will plug to DAP. The fact is, when connected via the Pentagon with a standard load of 35 ohms, the maximum power per channel is just some kind of miserable 564 milliwatt. At the same time, there's very low background noise and an insanely quiet click on the relay that you can slightly hear every time pressing the pause. As for the firmware, it's Android with almost perfectly working and so familiar to us HiByMusic app and Play Store with Google services. The system is frankly naked, you won't find what you won't need, but some necessary things have been added, like bypassing the sampling rate converter that prevents the Android beast from spoiling the sound. The system is well set, I didn't notice any glitches and crashes during the usage. Summarizing the stuff, HiBy R5 is one of the finest audio players that I had a chance to try out. It's pleasing by many reasons: ergonomics, comfort, hold, stable work, response and most importantly the sound. Some beta players will have significantly higher cost. For instance, the X150 will cost you $150 more, when SR15 will ask you twice as much as price of HiBy R5. I personally am waiting for the X160. And what do you think? Which device will beat HiBy R5? And if you like this video, then why not to support our channel by subscribing to it, hitting the like button and ringing the bell to stay tuned for more cool content. My thanks for watching and cheers!